waxaan nahay wahdiga dugsiyada, waxaan nahay wanaga macalinka, waxaan nahay wahdiga dugsiyada.
Hi students, welcome to our Igal secondary school channel. Today we are going to learn about new chapter known as interrogative sentences. How to make simple sentences or change simple sentences into interrogative sentences. This thing has got a link with the previous work when we have done about affirmative and negative sentences. Likewise, the experience that we have shared there is same that we are going to use here, but differently. We have learned before in affirmative sentences, not comes before the verb to be, after the verb to be, or modal auxiliaries, or has or have. But today we are transferring those verb to be, or have to, has or have, or modal auxiliary to the next stage at the starting point, and we end the sentence with a question mark. With a question mark, and we end the sentence with a question mark. Now, there is a few challenging sentences here. Like now, this one here is a bit challenging. I've told you it challenges most of the students, and we are going to look at specifically. And here, those ones, they don't have any auxiliary. So most of the students come problem across the statements. And whatever we are learning here in this lesson, as we have learned before, affirmative and negative sentences. And today I'm going to teach you how to put question mark before a simple sentence, known as interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences. And these exercises will going to help you when you are putting a question mark before a sentence. After we finish this, next time we shall going to learn about question type. Question type. Now let us begin. Please be very careful and try to copy or imitate your teacher whatever is doing, because it's crucial for you. You have to do this step. This is a kind of a rule that you're supposed to follow. If you don't follow, you will end up getting nothing in the exam. So even when you're talking, when you're writing, it's very important to consider the verb agreement, whatever you want to do as a negative, whatever you want to do as a questioning word, whatever you want to put a question tag is very important. Very important. Now let us begin our lesson. Now I want to stay here. Here in this system, we have got the I want to stay here, because this one want to stay here. We have got I, the subject, want the verb. Here we don't have any verb to be, any modal auxiliaries, any have to. So we use, because I is a singular subject but used as a plural. So we say, do I? So we say, do I want to stay here? As simple as that. Next, he studies in grade 9. Studies. He is a singular. Studies. He is that singular pronoun. Studies. That IES make this word to be strong, because in English we have got subject, verb, and we can say he study and remove IES, because he stands for a singular, and study, if you don't omit that word, change to I, add NES, it stands for a plural verb. So we don't have any verb to be, any have to, we don't have any modal auxiliary, So we use the word does. Does he study? Now in this next stage, we omit now. We can't use two singular verbs in a single statement. So we trace it back to the infinitive verb or present verb study, because you have used in grade 9. Don't forget to put your question mark because you are dealing with a question mark. Now come to the other ones. Others. This is, that is a verb to be, you just bring forward before it. Is this a nice picture? Is this a nice picture? Don't forget your question mark. Come to the next. Is this a nice picture? Come here. Bring that one forward. Are these bad apples? Don't forget your question mark because we have got are there. It's a verb to be. Are there? It's a verb to be. She wrote a letter. Here we don't have, and it's a simple past. We don't have any verb to be, has or have or mode auxiliary. So we have to use did because it's a past. Did she? Never forget, wrote changed to a present simple verb. Verb 1. Yes. We say, did she wrote comes right. Did she write a letter? Don't forget your question mark. Come here. It was a lovely story because was is about to be past. Just we come and say, was it a lovely story? Is it a lovely story? Don't forget your full stop. Don't forget your question mark. I mean, you were late yesterday. Just bring were. You entertain them. Were you late yesterday? Don't forget your question mark. Here you have got I shall. Yes, I shall help you. So shall I help you? Put there your question mark. They will go there. Will they go there? Don't forget your question mark. Because this one, shall, will are known as mode auxiliaries. So have to, here we have got have. So we just put have in front of the sentence and we at the back after the have. Then we have given them. Don't forget your question mark. 11b, we have been given has, because so we say, has he told you? Has he told you? Put there question mark. Don't forget your question mark. You can do it. Can you? Can you? Can you do it? Don't forget your question mark, please. Very important. Must we speak the truth? Don't forget your question mark. She ought to start at once. Ought she? Ought she? Don't use to start. Ought she? Ought she start at once? Please follow second. And now here briefly, I have written here a very brief note that reminds you how I have done this. To change simple sentence, to change simple sentence into interrogative sentence, to change simple sentence into interrogative sentences, you have to make the following changes. Do or does has been used as shown in 1b and 2b, because do, I want to stay here. Do I want to stay there? Yes. He studies in class 6. Does he study in class 6? So you have to follow the whatever you have been given. So here it just summarizes what I have written on the board. Summarizes what I've written on the board. So you can follow it. So I've just written it there to make you recall or remind you. Here you can see to use D, I have used did in interrogative 5b. Did you write a letter? The wrote I have changed to write. Yes. So you have to remember those things are given. You can see here was and where. Was and where. I have used them in 6b and 7b in interrogative sentence. So shall, here you can see, and here will, the modal auxiliaries. I have used them in interrogative sentences 8b and 7b. Now comes here have and has. To start with have and has, when you are given has and have, there's no need to look for any other verbs. Just use them to bring forward at the beginning of a sentence, and you put, don't mix the sentences. You are just interchanging the subject and the second verb, this verb that comes after the subject. Maybe it is a verb to be, or has or have, that comes direct after the subject. You just carry that, you just remove that one and bring at the first and the subject at the second. So don't mix the sentence, please. You are just dealing with two things. Yes, two things. When it comes to now present simple, like the first one, 1a, you're just being given I want to stay here. So don't try to mix it. So concentrate on the subject and a verb only. Subject and a verb. So one is a verb. So it doesn't have any verb to be or modal auxiliary has or have. So you have been given, because I is a plural, you just use do. So you use do. You say do I want. That's all. So don't try to mix the sentence, please. I'm warning you, my students. Now that part I have done it. There's only one sentence here. Yeah, that one is a modal auxiliaries as shown in 12b, 13b, and 14b. Now comes here. Here is your work. Test your ability. I've tried to put some few exercises here. Exercise 1. Change the following simple sentences. A simple sentence is a sentence that which is has got as one verb one subject and carrying what we call a complex thought that we call a simple sentence. Here we have got interrogative. We have got an interrogative, questioning word, another word. Okay, now here is your exercise. Because this all is a simple sentences. A simple sentences is a sentence that consists of one subject, one verb. Verb can be one or two, depending on how you're going to write something, but specifically they're supposed to have a one subject. And should be a complete thought, and should be a complete thought. So you can see here, it was a difficult reach there. Number two, we have done our duties. I told everything wrong. Miss Sundu's texts are English. We like to go on picnic. We shall play against them next week. The children eat apple. The children eat apple. Here come, we have got here, change the sentence into simple sentences. Now, because the questioning is interrogative, you trace it back to the original sentence, which is a simple sentence, which is a complete sentence. Is he coming tomorrow? Is she sang a nice song yesterday? Was he given a present? Was he given a present by his parents? Does your mother drop you here? Did I go to his house to see him? I have they given you such a nice prize? Were they going out when we went there? So you can see that's now our exercise. I say goodbye. Enjoy the lesson properly, and I wish you a nice Ramadan. Goodbye. Hi students, welcome to our channel. Today we shall going to learn about question tags. In previous lesson, I have taught you how to use write affirmative into negative sentences and simple sentences into questioning word or interrogative questions. Today we shall going to learn about question tags, and those two lessons that I have given you before, it will come to assist you in question tags the way I have told you. Now, question tags, here you can see written question tags. They are used in a conversation when you are talking to someone to ask for confirmation, when you want to confirm something. Yes. So you answer in short. So read the following sentences. Now see number one here. Number two, you are late. Number three, she doesn't like. Number four, they won't come. Now here, check it the way I'm going to do it. When sentence is affirmative sentences, whereby it's not negative, you're supposed to answer in negative way. Because this one now, he is absent today. He is absent today. This one is now positive. So our answer, and we have been given verb to be is. So there's no need of looking for another verb. You just come and say isn't. In short, you say isn't, and your subject there is he. Then you put question mark. Next, come here. You are late. You are late. You are late. You are late. You have been given a, and it's a positive sentence. You are late. You just come and say, you answer your answer in a negative form because you have been given a positive form and it has got a verb to be. You say, aren't you? You say, aren't you? And never forget to put your question mark. Never forget to put your question mark. Next we go to, and this one we have been given, she doesn't like is a negative, because this statement, if we try to change the previous design, because here it's among the negative statement we have learned, you can be told to change the negative sentences into simple sentence. She doesn't like. She doesn't like. Or change simple sentence into affirmative form, the original form. She doesn't like. So you say she likes. You remove doesn't. You say she likes. You put an X there to show that it's a singular, because this does contribute that this verb is a singular. So when you are answering it, now you come and say, because this one is a negative, you answer in a positive. You just have the word does. You put she. That's all. That is all about your whatever you want to say. Come here now. They won't come. This won't is the contraction of will not. We write that. Shall not is being written shan't. So they won't come. So it's just a contraction of will not. So which means this sentence here, you're seeing here, it is a negative form. So we can write in a, if you want to change the affirmative form, you just come and say they will. You just come and say they will. They will come. So here now we are going to say they won't come. Will they? We just say will they? And we put our question mark. That's all. Remember that when a sentence you have not been given the verb to be, or the modal verbs, or modal auxiliaries, or has or have, or do or does, there is some sentences like a simple present and simple present plural and simple present singular, and there is a simple past. This word you have to use does, did, do, because you have been given positive, you say doesn't he or she, don't they, and didn't he or didn't she or didn't I. When you are not been given, you have to use those verbs. Now, whatever I've been talking about, it is written here below these 4 practical questions. In the above 4 statements, the first and the second sentences are affirmative because they are lacking not. In this chapter, in previous chapter we have learned not makes the sentence to be negative, so they are affirmative. They are affirmative. So you can see in the above 4 sentences, the first and second sentences are affirmative, and their question tags are in negative. It has to be opposite. That's why I told you that affirmative and negative sentences, they are very important when answering. When you have been given a question on question tags, they're going to assist you. I'm sure they're very important. So while the third and fourth sentences are negative, so we have learned that affirmative, when you change to negative, you have not must follow, not must follow. So, and the question tags are in affirmative. You can see now they are contradicting each other. Yes, affirmative, which is a positive, negative, which is a negative. So when your question you have been given is a negative, your answer should be positive or affirmative. When your answer, the sentence that you have been given, you have been told to add the question tag, it is a affirmative, then you will give your answer in a negative. And we shall going to learn more about again here. We are going to learn about, here comes again at the top of this exercise was written ND, point note. Commands. You've been told commands or a request take a positive question tag. Commands. When you're ordering something, maybe by force, or request, take a positive question tag. So we treat the commands and request sentences as a negative. So the answer becomes positive. Let us play another game. Shall we? Because us is a we, us is an objective pronoun, so you get a your pronoun there becomes we. So let us play another game. Shall we? Let us go back again, go down. Okay, next. NB. When it comes to there, need, when it comes to need and there, when used possibly in a statement are not repeated in the question term. Be careful there. You've been told you can't use are not repeated in the question tag. Instead, so we don't say needn't I or daren't I. So we don't need. So we use instead do. We replace with do. So instead, we use the correct form of do, whether in present, whether in past. You need to work hard. So instead of saying didn't you say don't you. She dared to go out at night, didn't she? Not then she, not then she. We don't use the verb in the sentence. It's just like I wanted to go to school yesterday. So I wanted is a positive and it's a past. So when you are answering it, you say didn't I. So there's no need of using the verb as a question tag. So the word not makes a statement negative. The word not makes a statement negative. I've already told you that we have learned affirmative to negative form. Not in a negative form, we need not. Not is very important. So be careful. So the affirmative and negative will perfectly going to assist you when you are answering question tags. Now let us scroll down and go down. Okay, here is also very important. The following words make statement negative. When you see no, seldom, none, rarely, nobody, little, never, scarcely, few, barely. So when you see these words, be careful. When you see this word in a statement, use negative question tag, please. So, and here below is exercise to do. Now, for example, I have got little fuel to spare for you. Now you can see we have used little, which is a negative. I have got a little fuel to spare for you. Now your answer should be in a negative form. Practice exercise 1. You need to see a doctor. She never pays attention in a class. You can see not here, never. Come here. Come on. She dared to storm out of church. So be careful. She will bring the books. The English teacher rarely comes late. Lend me your pencil. You can see falls under the clause of a request. You are not happy with her. You look like a black tea. She sang a nice song. Not the verb. I do not abuse her. So it's very important to note the statement whether it is negative or positive. It's very important. Not whether it is affirmative sentence or a negative. Because when you note a sentence, it is affirmative, your answer becomes negative. When the statement you have decided is a negative, so your statement becomes positive. So it's very crucial and important. So she's in a fix. You should not tell him anything. You see, they never obey their parents. The boy doesn't take medicine. You are ready for the exam. Farah told everything to his father. You must not go there. Stop making noise. You can see, stop making noise. You're commanding someone to do that. The girl was crying for help. The boy will be called soon. He wants to come with me. So please, when the sentence is in a present form or a past form, try to solve it properly. You use does or did in a present form and did in a past form. You use does or do in a present form, and in a past form you use did. So never forget. So